you tired? Anyone tired?
Very.
Yeah, me too. Are you worn out? Worn out? Burnt out on religion? You can, I'll just, close my eyes. Just answer that internally. Okay, this is the Message translation too. Jesus says, come to me. Okay, get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Okay? Some of us don't know how to do that very well. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. It's awesome. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Does that sound good to anybody? Living free, light, easy, no stress, no exhaustion, no worn outness. Yeah, I mean, even as you guys in teen years, high school is exhausting. Middle school is the worst. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. Okay, my middle school years were the worst, okay? Just speaking for myself. But Jesus says that if we walk with him and we watch him to see how he does it, do you know how we do that? We read the word, we pray, and we take advantage of this time of worship. Because we can learn how to give every burden that we are carrying over to him. During this time is when we learn to grow close to him. We learn how he does this, how we come into contact with him and we take on his yoke, which sounds weird, sounds like eggs, but it means we know how to do things the way that he does because he's doing it with us. We're doing it with him. So he makes it easier for us. And it's within that closeness that we learn to hear his voice, okay? So it is there that we test the other voices. Oh, you don't need to go to youth group tonight because you're exhausted. You are too stressed out, okay? That's the wrong voice. That's not Jesus' voice because he wants you to draw in and draw close to him, okay? So when we spend this time in worship with him, singing about him, praying to him, then we learn how to hear his voice above all the other voices. So that's what we do during this time. So if you can listen to the lyrics of the songs we have, and thank you, and try your best to just enter into this time the best that you can, guys. On your yoke that is light and it is easy, so we can let go of those burdens that we don't have to hold on to. When we learn how to walk close with you, you take those on for us, God, and you give us something that is light. I was lost, but he brought me of his love. Free. you go with them, Lord Jesus, and you begin to just let them feel your love at every moment they turn around and they least expect it, God, that they feel your love there. Thank you,
Jesus. So, how many of you here grew up in Sunday school? Raise your hand. Like going to Sunday school. Not literally in Sunday school, but like going to Sunday school. Okay. How many of you here have never, oh, let's do it the other way. You may not want to raise your hand. How many of you here know the story of the prodigal son? Okay. Awesome. So, there's a story of the prodigal son, and basically it's about a son who leaves and comes back. That's the whole story. But we're going to take a lot longer than that to talk about tonight. So, the story of the prodigal son, basically you've got a guy who's pretty wealthy, and he's got two sons. And this is really, like as a parent, you would never do this. But for the simplicity of the story, let's call it the good son and the bad son, okay? And the bad son isn't actually bad. The bad son has just believed the lies of the world, is really what it is. And he gets it in his head. He's the younger son. And he gets it in his head. He's like, you know what? My dad's rich. Like, Kardashian level rich. And one day I'm going to get, half of all this. Because I have an older brother, I gotta split it. But I'm gonna get half of all of this stuff. That's like forever. Like he's like super healthy. He's still like plowing fields and stuff to set the example for the servants. Like I'm gonna be like 50 years old before my dad actually dies and I get the inheritance. And what's the point of being like 50 and getting like and being rich? He's like, I wish there was a way I could just get this like now. I'm paraphrasing more than the message right here though. So just so you know, like some of this stuff is, I'm taking some license here to paint the picture. So don't build any theology off of one random thing I say, because I'm heavily paraphrasing to paint this picture. So he's like, I wish there was like something I could do, like clearly I'm not crazy, I'm not gonna kill my dad. But I just wish I could get it, right? So this probably goes on for a while. He probably doesn't just think of this one day. He's probably thinking about this for a while. It's probably bugging him. And one day, he comes up with this brilliant idea, he thinks. So he goes to his dad, and he's like, Dad, I don't want to wait. Just give me my money now. And for whatever reason, his dad's like, okay. And gives him his inheritance. And so the guy's like, yes, freedom. I'm an adult now. I get to do whatever I want. So he moves out to Vegas. Well, their version of it. And he just lives it up, right? Like you could ask like the stereotypical just person off the street, like what would be like the greatest just party life? And that's what he does. He's out every night, he's partying, and of course he's got money, so he has tons of friends. Because you can buy friends, not real friends. The kind of friends he has you can buy. So he's buying drinks, he's buying food, he's paying for movie tickets. He's probably like buying his friends' cars, or I guess camels. I don't know. Like, you get the idea. And so everyone thinks this guy's super cool because he's rich. He has people around him, so therefore we want to be around him too. Oh, and he's always handing out free stuff. This guy just thinks that his money's gonna last forever, and it might have, but they basically have like a famine or like a depression like we would have, right? So all of a sudden his money doesn't go as far. He actually runs out of money. And so all of his friends disappear, right? Because if you're buying your friends, like it's like electricity. Once you stop paying for it, it goes away, right? It's the same thing, your cell phone. You don't pay that bill by cell phone, right? So he loses his money, so he loses his friends. And things get really bad. So at this point, he's basically homeless and gonna die. So then he decides, you know what, I clearly don't want to die. That's not a good idea. So I'll get a job. I can do it. Why not? I'm not going back to my dad's house. I'm too smart for that. I'm not going to admit I was wrong. I'll just rebuild myself. I'll get a job. So he gets a job. And how many of you have ever had, a lot of you here are trying to get jobs, raise your hand if you've had a job. Like, if you've ever worked a job. Okay. How many of you are like, I want a job really bad. It's like my biggest thing. And then everyone else who like raised their hand that they had a job wants to slap you in the back of the head, right? They're like, just wait! So here's the thing with jobs. Unless your dad is the CEO of the company, like you start at the bottom normally. And the only way around that is to spend a decade in college, right? Like, or something like that. That's equally as hard. You don't just walk into a company and go, hey, I'm homeless, I need a job. And you all of a sudden get to have the greatest job. right? You start at the bottom, and that's essentially what he does. He gets a job feeding the pigs. So, and this is a very degrading job for him, particularly, where this story is being told to a Jewish community, so we can assume that, this would have had significance to them, like feeding like pigs and Jews, that those didn't go along very well, like that was an unclean thing. So the audience hearing this is like, it's like the most like, oh my gosh, like it literally would have been better if he was working in like cow poop all day long. Like the story would have been better. Feeding pigs is about the worst thing Jesus could have come up with at that point. And so he now finds himself feeding the pigs. And have you ever seen a movie, or maybe if you're a little bit older, maybe you've been here, like especially if you're a college student and you're working a job in the food industry. Anyone ever work in the food? I know we got at least one who still works in the food industry. This probably still applies to you, but for a whole other reason, because of how good the food is there. But like, have you ever been working at a place, like maybe it's fast food or something? Now imagine he's like doing that, right? He's like bussing tables at like, we'll just say Taco Bell, and not a particularly nice Taco Bell. And he's like throwing the food away, and as he's throwing it away, he's like, I kind of want to eat that half of that burrito. Like, they left that on the ground. Kind of want to eat it, not gonna lie. And he finds himself thinking this, right? This is why I said for you it doesn't really count, because I would probably eat half of the things that people left at your place too. Like Red Lobster, like yeah, give me those leftovers. But he's not at Red Lobster. This is pig slop, right? Like they literally put like what we would consider garbage in pig food. So he finds himself going, if only I could like reach down and grab a handful of that pig slop, maybe pull out like the Mountain Dew can piece, I just eat that, like I'm so hungry. And he's like, wait a minute, this isn't going so well for me. Now that I think of it, like working for people isn't really fun. Like my dad's employees get treated a lot better than this. Like, actually now that I think about it, my dad's employees get treated really well. Like I kind of wish I had that. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tell my dad I'm sorry, and I'm gonna ask for a job, because this is bad. Like at this point, I don't even care. I want to eat pig food, garbage, hybrid stuff. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna ask my dad. I'm gonna say, Dad, I'm sorry, I messed up. Can I have a job? Like you can put me out like on the other side of the property where you never see me. You can make me. I'll even feed the pigs here. But I know that like when I work for you, I don't have to work over 40 hours a week. I get health insurance, and we get a housing allowance. Like, that's pretty good. I want to work for my dad. So he goes home, and I'm sure he's probably rehearsing it, right? Because it sounds like a good idea when he's hungry, but as he like sees the house, he's like, oh man, I hope he doesn't punch me in the face for one thing. That's probably not Dad, but still, that's what I'd do to my kid. I'm not saying that, I'm saying he's saying that. Like, Judith, better watch out. Your dad said. So he's like, okay, so my dad's not a violent dad, so he probably isn't gonna like slap me around, but he's definitely going to make me, he's gonna pull the whole I told you so. He's gonna do the dad move, and I'm gonna listen to like the longest speech ever. So if I can get in there first, if I can just be like, give a really good speech, maybe he'll just say yes, and maybe he won't do the speech. If I could just be like, I messed up, I'm sorry, you were right, I was wrong, can I just have a job? That's it, I just need a job. Maybe I can like cut through some of that. So he's like rehearsing, right? He's walking up. So what he doesn't know is his dad is heartbroken that he left. His dad's not mad. His dad's not like, dumb kid. His dad's not like, oh, he took a lot of money. I was bluffing, I didn't really think he was gonna go. I thought he was gonna be like, oh, never mind. Like, he's honestly, he's sitting there going, I hope he's not dead. Imagine when he hears of like the financial situation in that land and what's happening. He's like, that's where my son is. Like I hope he's alive. I hope he's okay. How's he doing? And the Bible says that he's actually looking out for his son, right? And one day he's watching for his son. Like probably his biggest desire is that his son would come home. He actually sees his son coming home. And so he's like, I don't care. I imagine the dad is like short and fat. I don't know why. I just always have, right? I mean, they basically wore dude dresses back then. So I just imagine like the short, fat, like partially balding dad, kind of like Kramer from Seinfeld. He's up there like on the little second story balcony. I know very little about the architecture of the time period. And he's out there, and he's just looking for his son, waiting for his son. Maybe he has a servant bring him some breakfast, and he like doesn't even eat it. He's just like, I'm just dreaming of my son. And then he sees his son coming back. So, right, little short fat dad with his dude dress, he just like hikes up his little dude dress and starts like running, right? Running towards the son. So the son's like, okay, I'm sorry. I screwed. Oh wait, I gotta say, okay, you were right, I was wrong. That's key. That's key right there. You were right, I was wrong. Okay, and then all of a sudden the dad just runs up and just like bear hugs him. And he's like, he's trying to do his speech. Oh yeah, can I? And his dad's just like, you're back, you were dead to me, you're alive now. He's like, you literally were like, as far as like you were dead and this is amazing, this is literally all I want. He's like, yo, servants, we're having a party. Remember, he's fat, he's just a little short fat dude, of course they're gonna have a party. He's like, cook everything. And, okay, not quite everything. But they're gonna have this big feast. It's like, this is a party. Like, my son basically just came back from the dead. Everything I've ever wanted in life, up until this point, just happened. We're having a huge party to celebrate. So they do. And it's a party, so it's loud and lots of stuff going on. And the older brother, very type A, all right? Very much like, by the rules, he's probably the one, he's like that brother, and like, when there's like a family-owned company, and there's like that one kid who could have never built the company, but acts like the company wouldn't exist without him, so he's always like on the employees like, oh, you clocked in, and then you went and talked for 3.5 minutes before you started working. I'm gonna dock that for you. He's like, I imagine him as like that kind of brother, right? So he goes, he's like, what is that? He comes in from working, by the way, because he works hard. He comes in from working, he's like, what is going on? What is all the noise? I haven't checked my email today. I didn't hear what's going on. What's happening? He's like, didn't you hear? Like, your brother's back. We're having a party. And he's like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, your dad's like, said, cook everything. And so like, we're having a huge party. So he gets mad. He's not happy that his brother's alive. He's not happy if anything else, like, even if you're super selfish, you at least would be happy at the party, right? Have you ever been like, I didn't really want to go to the birthday party, but then like, they had like steaks or ribs or like the best ice cream, right? So it ended up being a really cool party anyways. Like, yeah, I just thought it was gonna be some birthday party, but it ended up being amazing. At least if he was super selfish, you would at least think he'd be happy that, hey, we're gonna have a cool time. But he's not, he's like furious. And his dad sees him, and his dad's like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, he goes just on a total tantrum, right? He's like, he went off and he's an idiot and he did all this stuff. He embarrassed you, he embarrassed our whole family. He took all this stuff. He shouldn't even be allowed home and you're throwing a party? He's like, I have my friends over all the time and you've never offered to throw us a party. You never offered to, the Bible specifically talks about like slaughtering an animal, right? For like a feast. He's like, you never offered that. You never gave me the credit card and said, call up Pizza Hut, Domino's, whatever, get what you want. He's like, what is going on? And he's mad because he's thinking, this isn't right. His whole mindset is, I did everything right. Why isn't he being about not walking through that door? About how to avoid it and how to look at the example of the prodigal son and how to not make his mistakes. But some of you may be thinking, but I've already done that. What happens if I already feel like I've walked through that door? If I've already fell, I've already messed up, then what's going to happen? Is the Father going to take me back? I mean, the story's nice. It's a cute story. But this isn't just some dad we're talking about. This is God. And is he going to be mad at me for the things I've done? Like, I grew up in church. I raised my hand that I was in Sunday school. I should have known better, but I did it anyways. That would be fine for my friends who never went to church and didn't know. The Father would take them back and say, you didn't know. It's cool. You didn't know. Come in. You know now. But what about me? I knew I shouldn't have done it. I did it anyways. Is it going to work for me? Well, if we look in Matthew, the 11th chapter, verse 29, it says, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest in your souls. So when we're trying to do things wrong, we're carrying that guilt. We're trying to earn it back. It's weary. It's hard. Franny talked about it before we started. We come into youth and we're just so weighed down that we can't even really express ourselves. We can't even really worship because we start worshiping a little bit and then we start thinking and the enemy starts reminding us. We're in that cage. We're one of those birds and he's poking us with a stick, right? So we're kind of getting focused on God. Maybe it's the second song, the third song. Okay, we're out of time. I need to kind of get tuned in. I need to worship. This is my once a week. This is my time. I got to worship God. Okay, it's kind of working. I'm kind of worshiping. I'm kind of focusing. And all of a sudden it feels like stick starts poking us, right? That stick, like, oh yeah. What about that? What about that guilt? What about that thing I did or I should have done and didn't do? And there's a heaviness that comes with that. Well, I have good news for you guys. The Bible makes it clear. It's the whole point of the gospel. God didn't die so that people who didn't realize they were doing wrong could be saved. That example in that story is perfect because he's like, I didn't put them here. They put themselves in the cage. They knew better. They walked right in anyways. And he said, I want them to have access to us. I want them to have access to myself and to my Father. I want them to be able to live in all eternity with us. I'm not coming to die for those who didn't know, who should have known better because they grew up in Sunday school and they went to youth group and were just dumb and did it anyways. I'm not saying, oh, they're out. I want to go for the ones who don't know. He's saying all who come to me. Confess your sins. You ask God, forgive me. God, I messed up. God, here I am again. And the enemy will tell you, no, that's not true. Everything you're telling you is true. But you kind of like warn that out, right? Like, you've done it 100 times. You've done it 1,000 times. Everything he's saying is true, but not for you because at some point you're out of the club. At some point it doesn't work anymore. It's just, the enemy will tell you, it's just like a girlfriend or a boyfriend. They may forgive you once if you cheat on them. They may forgive you and take you back if you dump them for no good reason. Maybe even a third time. But they're not going to do it after a while. And you've cheated on God too many times. You've walked away with no good reason too many times. And so it's not really for you at this point. And you know, if you have a shot, maybe if you keep coming for a while and you start doing well and you really earn it, maybe God will start to like you again at some point. But not tonight. Don't go up tonight and get prayer. Because it's a waste of your time. You're just going to embarrass yourself. But that's not what the Bible says. That's actually the exact opposite of what the Bible says. The Bible gives us, just like the prodigal son, running home thinking, there's no way I've screwed up too much. There's no way my dad will take me back. Actually, I can't even call him dad anymore. He won't take me back as his son. But I'm going to just try to come and get something else. And the dad runs and says, my son is alive again. He's back to me. God is saying, I am here. I never left you. And I don't care what you've done or how many times you've done it. I died for you. And so I'm going to have the leaders come up. And if you're sitting here and you're going like, I don't know any of this. Like I came as my friend invited me. I had no clue this was happening. What's going on? I want this. I want a loving father like that. You mean God isn't like my dad at home? He's not going to hit me when I mess up. He's not going to walk out and abandon me. I thought God was like that. I thought God just wanted to get us in trouble. I want this God. Let them know. They will pray with you. Maybe you're sitting here going like, you just need prayer for everything I was saying. Maybe you just need prayer for whatever it may be. We have leaders up here. So as Jonathan plays, we'll just open up the altars here for a time for you to come and get prayer. You can pray in your seats and that's fine. And I was always that kid. I was like, I can pray on my own. You know, I got the Holy Spirit. I can pray on my own. And that's true. But there are times, especially if you're facing any kind of heaviness, depression, sadness, you feel alone, any of these kind of things, a sin that you can't get, you keep falling back into. There's certain things that you need to go to a stronger brother or sister to have prayer for. So it's great to pray on your own, and for some of you that's great, but some of you, and the difference is how do you know? Because you know you're feeling it right now. Some of you are like, oh, okay, I'm off the hook. Cool, I was going to pray here anyways. That's good. But some of you, you're feeling it. You know, that's me. I need to go up there. I don't want to. Why is he still saying this? Why can't he move on so I can forget this already? I just want to pray here or put my head down until it's over. But some of you need to actually come up and actually get some prayer for some people. So we're going to just have the altars open. We're not going to go for a long time. It's almost 8 o'clock. It's almost time to go home. But we're going to give you guys some time to have some prayer. You can come and pray. Altars are open here. Pray your seats. We have leaders to pray for you as well if you're struggling with something. Lord, we just thank you. Lord, we thank you that you are a loving God.
Lord, that you care for us, that you're willing to give up your only Son for us, Lord. When we rebelled against you, you set everything up perfectly for us. And Lord, we decided, you know what? That door just looks too appealing. We've got to walk through it. We turn from your perfect plan to do things our own way and invited sin into the world. And Lord, now, as we live in this constant, just broken world, that rather than just washing your hands of us and saying, you know what? It was perfect. They wrecked it. I'm going to start over. I'm going to walk away. Go build a new planet somewhere else. And instead you said, no, even though it's going to cost me everything, I want them to have access to my Father. Just thank you for that, Father God. And Lord, I just pray that every student here, that Holy Spirit, you'll just make that real to every student here, whether they remember anything I said or not, that each week when they come here, that truth of the gospel, the truth of your love and your way and the way you provided, the access to your Father that you provided would be made real in such a real way to where, like I said, if they don't remember a word we said or a game we played, that they'll walk away every week with the truth of the gospel feeling real and alive in their lives. Just pray for each one of them here as they go back to school tomorrow, that you will be with them, you'll keep them. Just pray for them. Keep your hands upon them and bring them back.